Even though there are hundreds of scales that you could learn on the guitar, you really only need 2 of them. Now, the 2 scales that we absolutely need to know on the guitar are the major scale and the pentatonic scale. But that alone is not going to get us where we need to go. We need to know why it is, the value that these 2 bring to the table, and that is the stuff that we need to know in order to make this really valuable, okay? Which I'll explain. I call this the ruler and the hammer, and this is why. Number 1, the major scale is our ruler. What I mean by that is it's literally the de facto benchmark ruler, the thing that we measure all music theory by, the thing that we measure modes by and other scales by, chords by. If we're playing the Hendrix chord, right? If we're playing an E7 sharp 9 chord, what does the 7 mean? What does the E mean? What does the sharp 9 mean? This all is related to the major scale. Anytime we're evaluating chords, evaluating scales, talking about intervallic distances like a sharp 9 or a 7, it has to do with the major scale. Once you understand this, you can't understand it. You will totally understand it. You will absolutely know it, and it'll be super valuable for you. So we'll get into that in just a moment. And then the pentatonic scale is so valuable. It's the 5-note scale. And the reason that it's so valuable is because it leaves a few notes out. And the notes that it does leave, the 5 notes out of the major scale, is they're the notes that are really usable. So we can use this scale like we would a hammer. If I had a toolbox and I just absolutely only had a choice to have 1 tool in it, I would choose to have a hammer because you could do a lot with it. Arguably, maybe someone might want a screwdriver, but this is the one tool that I would always use, and same thing with the pentatonic scale. So let's delve into the major scale and then we'll get into the pentatonic scale. So the major scale, also known as the diatonic scale, is built off of the intervallic relationships. What we mean by intervallic relationships is the distance between notes of whole step, half step, whole, whole, half. And when we're talking about a half step, we mean the distance between 1 fret and the next. So a whole step would be 2 frets. And so if we take any note, doesn't matter where we're at on the fretboard, we take any note and we do this sequence of whole step, half step, whole, half, we get a major scale. Or we could play it, or many different ways to play this scale, right? Now, the reason it's so important is because, number 1, it's where we get our pentatonic scale, it's where we get our minor scale, all of our modes, and again, how we evaluate chords, how we create chords, if you will, with formulas. If we say that a major chord is the 1, the 3, and the 5 from that specific major scale, that if we're playing a G major chord, then the 1, the 3, and the 5, those 3 notes create our G major chord. And the rest of the chord is other 1s and 3s and 5s. Now, if someone said, play a dominant 7th chord, and we knew that that formula was a 1, 3, 5, flat 7, then the only thing we would need to do is add the flatted 7 to our already major chord. This becomes super powerful once we understand the formulas for chords, because the only thing you have to do is understand the major chord. Again, this is our ruler, and we need to know what the formula of a chord is. Super easy. Knowing this concept will literally allow you to play, just knowing the 1, the 3, and the 5 will allow you to play major chords in any key all over the neck. Now, albeit you'll need to assemble them, but you can get really quick at this, and it's how most pros think about their chords, okay? So yeah, they have a couple of formulas they might go to, or a couple of shapes, I'm saying, but from there, the thousands of chords and the tens of thousands of iterations that you could play of these different chords all over the neck, you would want to be able to not commit those to memory, but in fact have some sort of protocol using formulas in order to be able to create those chords on the fly in the rare occasions that you would need them, okay? So if we wanted to play a dominant seventh chord, we would just play up the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'd flat that note. There's our flat 7, and we would play our regular G major chord with an F in it. So any G major chord with an F in it would be a dominant seventh chord. Okay, so now that's one example of thousands that I could show you, but essentially if you don't know your major chord, you're not going to be able to form your chords, you're not going to be able to form your modes, you're not going to be able to do lots of stuff music theory wise. So commit the major scale to memory. Very, very important, okay? Now, the pentatonic scale, the 5-note scale, penta meaning 5, tonic meaning notes, is the 5-note scale. And so, for instance, if we were playing this in the key of G, the same scale, we would play, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there is our octave again, same as the 1, but it's really a 5-note scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, this can be played in a major or minor key. We're not going to get into the nitty-gritty of that because if you just search YourGuitarSage Pentatonic, I've got videos that really delve into the nitty-gritty of this. So I want to make something nice and concise for you so you can understand why we're doing this. The pentatonic scale is so valuable, again, because it leaves out certain notes, and especially for the beginner or intermediate player. Pros use it all the time, so it's not just for beginners and intermediates, but it's a great scale to start off with when improvising, creating solos, finding licks, transcribing solos. Most pros use this scale throughout their playing, especially in blues and rock, even sometimes in jazz, okay? Understanding the pentatonic scale, how to use it in a major minor setting, being able to not just know the formula of it, but actually being able to use it over any key, which is not difficult to do if you follow my methods, to first understanding what key you're in, and then understanding is it a major or minor form of that scale, and then being able to improvise and get familiar with how that scale would work over a specific chord progression is an absolutely fantastic way not only to get to know your neck, your guitar neck, but also to just become very musical and to come up with parts, which is what pros have done since the beginning of time with the guitar, right? There you have it, my friend. The first link below will give you more information. My gift to you, 36 of my best videos that hundreds of thousands of guitar players have already gone through. It's my gift to you. It's absolutely free. First link below. Friends, I'm here to help you play guitar. I'm passionate about your success. So please let me know how I can help. Leave your comments below. Like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.